Honorable Millie, what's your point?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm not too sure under what she read it, but I think I could raise an issue in relation to that, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to indicate, first of all, that I want to thank Honorable Njeri for that statement. And also just want to say, I know the Honorable Member is trying to distract her, but this is not the time for men to see young, beautiful women. You can see afterwards. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to inform Honorable Njeri that you are doing extremely well. Keep up on that path. You are doing well. You are a very young, visionary woman. You do very well. You are doing very well. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, this is an issue that is beyond, all members of Parliament of goodwill should be concerned. Mr. Speaker, I've been concerned when I see the number of messages that you keep seeing of missing persons. Mr. Speaker, I do not know what is going on. I don't want to ascribe blame or whatever, but I think the government needs to take this seriously. There are very many missing persons, and I don't know what's going on. Every single day, I'm sharing, there are some which are young children that are eventually found, but there are adults that are missing, and we don't know what's happening that this is going on. And we need to, even if it means forming a commission of inquiry or whatever we need to do, there is a problem. There are enough people who are disappearing in this country, and we need to pay attention and take action.
Of course, this doesn't require discussion, but let me hear from the chair of Blue Economy, very briefly. This generally does not require us to go into debate because members, you have a chance to even bring a motion of adjournment. So let's
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to congratulate the Honorable Njeri for bringing that issue. And Honorable Speaker, besides what the Honorable Njeri have just raised on the issues of abductions in the country, Mr. Speaker, we need to look, and this should go into the Ministry of Interior, that we need to look into the security of this country. Mr. Speaker, some few weeks ago, an individual who is not even a Kenyan, but he acquired a Kenyan citizen, and we are yet to know how he acquired, came all the way from Ethiopia, that's what we were told, to Isli and killed almost 4 women. And the individual now has been identified that he's an Ethiopian, actually. How he acquired Kenyan citizenship, Mr. Speaker, it's questionable. Mr. Speaker, apart from that one, if you go to the pastoral areas where we come from, the insecurities in those areas, Mr. Speaker, is at an alarming stage. We need to look, even as we address this issue of abductions in the country, Mr. Speaker, we need to look at the general issues of security in the country, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Leader, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, this was a general statement, but I hear a lot of reference to abductions. Even the member on the floor, the chair of our Water and Irrigation Committee is speaking about abductions. But from what I hear, the examples he's giving is the work of criminal elements, like the person is speaking about, and those are issues I thought the member and all of us should, even as we express our concerns on the rates of crime in the country, that we must be careful and cautious that we do not use the floor of this House to admonish our security agencies, not even to recognize the good work. For instance, it took less than a very few days, Honorable Speaker, from the time the Isli killings happened to the time the young lady unfortunately was killed in Kimani, for the DCI to apprehend the suspect, and even for the member on the floor to get to know Therefore, describing all these things as abductions, I know it is politically expedient and very good for the public gallery to be speaking about abductions. And there is a trend, Honorable Speaker, I must say so, that today in this country, even people who are legitimately arrested by policemen are booked into police cells, known police cells, are produced before courts of law. Those are being described as abductions. Probably we should, even as we engage, Honorable Speaker, be able to define what is an abduction. You saw the other case, Honorable Speaker, only this week or last week. A wife to somebody is in Nairobi, is also married to another man in Narok. The husband in Nairobi reports that the wife has been abducted. So I don't know whether that was an abduction or is a case of people stealing other people's wives. Now tomorrow, if the Honorable Bowen moves to Marakwet East with my wife, will I report my wife as having been abducted? Or do I say I've been unable to do certain things that the Honorable Bowen has managed to do? I mean, Honorable Speaker, I was only pointing out to say that we must be careful as leaders. We have a national platform. The adjectives we use to describe incidences. When a murderer murders people, that is a murderer. When someone is abducted by criminals and the police apprehend, at least let us have also the decency to congratulate, and I want to take this opportunity to congratulate DCI Amin and his team of security officers in the operations department, because they have moved with speed. When the Kware killings were happening, Honorable Speaker, it took them less than a week to apprehend the suspect. But it took the police a very short time, the Kenya police, to allow that suspect to escape from lawful custody, Honorable Speaker. Those are the issues I would expect that as leaders we should be addressing. Commend our officers when they do well, encourage them to do better, to apprehend suspects, but also avoid the temptation to brand every other criminal activity as an abduction. And I know there are also elements among us who want to make all these things look like they're abductions by the police. Missing persons, I appreciate what Millie Odhiambo has said, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, that there are even missing persons who just disappear now, also found. There are those who are arrested and they say they were abducted. Criminals must be arrested, and they will be arrested, and they must be produced before courts of law, as happens in accordance with our Constitution, Honorable Speaker. So I just want to encourage, Honorable Speaker, since this was a general statement, that even as we engage, let us be cautious. Let us not use this opportunity to play to the gallery, to speak to what you think is politically expedient and will excite people out there. Let us be responsible as leaders.
Very well, leader.